Okay, so you're here because, let's be honest, you want to get right to it. You want to understand
Mhm.
something really quickly and really well.
Cut through the noise, absolutely.
Yeah, and today, that something is red light therapy.
Yeah, and we've done a lot of the heavy lifting for you. We went deep into red light therapy, rehab,
Oh, nice.
their articles, their FAQs, all kinds of good stuff in there about benefits and how it works and the devices and even stem cells. We'll get to that too.
So red light therapy, it sounds pretty straightforward, right? You shine some red light and good things happen.
Right.
But what's actually going on here? How does it work at like a cellular level?
Well, you have to think about wavelengths of light. So we're talking about red light, 600 to 700 nanometers, and then near infrared light, that's 800 to 850 nanometers. And what's interesting is these wavelengths are absorbed by the mitochondria in your cells.
Mitochondria, those are the little...
The powerhouses, yeah, the energy producers of the cell.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And when the mitochondria absorb this light, it stimulates them to produce more ATP. And ATP is like the energy currency of the cell.
It's like a cellular power-up.
Exactly.
And these wavelengths, red and near infrared, they're not just any light, right? They penetrate deeper.
Right, they can go further than other types of light, like blue light, for example. They can get deeper into the skin, the tissues, the muscles even. And that's why they can have such a broad range of effects.
So it seems like red light therapy is really having a moment now, but it's not actually new, is it?
Not at all, no. People have been using light therapeutically for a long time, going back to the early 1900s. They were using it for things like skin conditions, wound healing, and then as technology progressed, we got lasers. We started understanding more about photobiomodulation. That's basically how light interacts with biological systems.
Hmm.
And red light therapy evolved into what we have today.
So it's got a long history, and now it's becoming more and more popular.
Yeah, you can find red light therapy devices for home use now, and of course, it's still used professionally.
So let's talk about the benefits people are seeing real results with red light therapy, right?
Definitely. And one of the biggest areas is pain relief. So many studies show that red light can reduce inflammation and promote healing,
Okay.
especially in those deeper tissues. So it can be really effective for conditions like arthritis, joint pain, things like that.
It's not just masking the pain, it's helping the body to actually heal.
Exactly.
What about skin rejuvenation? I feel like that's a big one.
It is, and for good reason. Red light therapy has been shown to stimulate collagen production. Collagen is what gives our skin its structure and elasticity.
Right.
So it can really help with things like wrinkles, fine lines, and it can even improve skin tone and texture. Some people are even using it for conditions like psoriasis and eczema.
Wow. So there are cosmetic benefits, but it can also help with actual skin problems.
Right.
Now, I know a lot of athletes are using red light therapy for muscle recovery.
Yeah, absolutely. It can help reduce muscle soreness and stiffness after a workout. It speeds up the healing process because it boosts cellular energy and reduces inflammation.
So they can get back to training faster.
Exactly.
And I've heard it can even help with hair growth.
That's right. There's some really interesting research coming out about that. It seems that red light therapy can stimulate hair follicles and promote a healthier scalp.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's still early days, but the results so far are promising.
So we've got pain relief, skin rejuvenation, muscle recovery, hair growth. That's a lot of potential benefits.
It is.
So if someone's listening to this and they're thinking, okay, I want to try this, how do they even choose a device? It seems like there are so many options out there.
It can be overwhelming, for sure. There are devices for home use, and then there are the professional grade devices that you'd find in a clinic or salon.
Okay, let's start with home use. What are the most common types?
Sure. Well, you've got handheld devices. These are great for targeted treatment. Then you have larger panels that can cover more of the body. And there are even masks specifically for the face. Home devices are generally pretty easy to use, portable, and they tend to have lower power output than the professional devices.
What are some things someone should consider if they're buying a red light therapy device for home use?
Wavelength is important because different wavelengths have different effects. Then you want to think about the size of the treatment area.
Right.
Obviously, a larger panel will cover more of your body. Also, safety features like a timer, automatic shutoff, and then power output. You want something that's effective, but also safe for home use.
Yep.
And then, of course, ease of use, portability, if you want to be able to move it around, and the reputation of the manufacturer. Always check reviews.
Good advice.
Oh.
Okay, now what about professional red light therapy? What's different about that?
Well, the devices are much more powerful. They use higher intensities of light, and they often include infrared light, which penetrates even deeper.
Oh, yeah.
So you need a trained professional to administer those treatments. If you're thinking about going the professional route, you should definitely ask about FDA clearance and whether there's clinical evidence to support the claims they're making.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about stem cells.
Yeah.
This is where things get really interesting.
Yeah, this is cutting edge stuff. Research has shown that certain wavelengths of red light can actually stimulate stem cell activity.
Wow.
So we're talking about stem cell proliferation. That's the ability of stem cells to multiply and differentiate, which means they can transform into different types of
So
cells.
red light can essentially tell these stem cells to wake up and get to work.
In a way, yes. And the way it works is by boosting mitochondrial function in the stem cells.
Right.
So the stem cells have more energy, more ATP, and that makes them more likely to activate and differentiate into the cells that are needed for repair and regeneration.
So it's like giving your body's own repair system a boost.
Exactly. And there's even research showing that red light therapy can make stem cells more effective at healing.
Incredible.
And it goes beyond that. Red light therapy also promotes the release of growth factors and cytokines. These are signaling molecules that play a key role in tissue repair. There was a study at the University of California where they found that red light therapy could actually enhance the differentiation of mesenchymal stem cells into osteoblasts. Those are the cells that form bone.
So it could have applications in bone healing.
Exactly. It's a
Yeah.
very exciting area of research with huge potential for regenerative medicine.
This is really mind-blowing stuff. So let's bring it back down to earth for a second. If someone is listening and they want to explore red light therapy, what are the key takeaways?
I think the first step is to figure out what your goals are. What are you hoping to achieve with red light therapy? Then you need to think about your budget and how comfortable you are with this kind of technology if you're going for a home device.
Hmm.
Remember to pay attention to the wavelength treatment area, safety features, power output, ease of use, portability, and the reputation of the company.
Great advice. So to sum it all up, red light therapy is a non-invasive treatment that uses specific wavelengths of light to energize our cells. It can help with pain relief, skin rejuvenation, muscle recovery, and potentially even hair growth. And the really exciting thing is its potential to activate stem cells, which could have a huge impact on how we approach healing and regeneration in the future. We've talked about the different types of devices out there and the things you should keep in mind when choosing one. If you want to dive deeper into this topic and learn more, we highly recommend checking out redlighttherapy.rehab.
That's redlighttherapy.rehab, all one word.
Yeah, redlighttherapy.rehab. You'll find tons of information there. And as we wrap up here, it really makes you think about the future of light therapy. What other possibilities are out there? What other amazing things will we be able to do with light in the years to come? It's an incredibly exciting field, and we can't wait to see what the future holds.
Absolutely. It's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Thanks for listening, everyone. I'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.